So this is Trevor with Trevor and Jill Talk. Today we are just delighted to be with DJ April Larken. April works in New York City, also in Fairfield County, Connecticut. She's one of our faves. She has incredible mixtapes, and for especially the season, the holiday season right now, and
Jill's
even
been
more
dancing to it for like all day. Playing in the background. We're going to post the link. She's taken such cool holiday songs. It made such a great mix. So I'll have to try to pay attention to the show.
Thank you. But just so everybody knows, we need a little toast, actually a big toast to Jill Fitzberg today. She is 1 year older. It's her happy birthday. Jill, I am so grateful to be your friend and
no
to
more
get
grateful
to
than I.
with you. And you are just an amazing, beautiful, wonderful person through and through. So here's to Jill. Happy birthday, my dear.
Are you? I mean, come on. I love you so much. And April, I feel, even though we're just meeting, I've been, absorbing so much that you've said, in social media about your music business. I'm so excited to talk to you. And I'm toasting to you with a delicious cocktail, so easy, made by my daughter, Amanda, which is an apple mule, because I love Moscow mules. So it's simply ginger beer, vodka, apple cider, and apple slices. It's
super
so good.
Yeah.
So cheers.
So April, tell us a little bit about what you love so much about holiday songs and what you're featuring in your mix right here.
Well, you're gonna laugh.
So cool.
you're gonna laugh. I can't stand holiday songs, which is when you listen to the mix, you'll see what my version is. So my mix is all anti versions of a holiday song. In other words, it's all remixes that are done in like a techno dance beat, because I just can't. I've done holiday parties over the years, and I hate when you're playing this amazing banger and everyone's dancing, and then it's like scratch the record, and you put on like Santa Claus is coming to town, and everyone loses their mojo. It's so there are few you got to dig, and I think because I've got some DJ hookups, you got to dig, but you can find there are dance remixes of almost every holiday song. So that was kind of my theme. I made it into like the naughty list where none of them are the actual original songs. They're all just kind of the song with the lyric. That's the only thing that resembles anything what you're used to is the lyric. The rest is a backbeat that's much louder and to dance to. And then I kind of mixed it in with newer songs. I put the new Dua Lipa in there. I put the new Billie Eilish in there. I put the Cardi B, Megan Thee Stallion song in there because that song is 2020. And
it is so good, Trevor. You know what I do whenever I have to do really annoying things like empty the dishwasher for the 9 billionth time of the day or something, or do some, or even for some workout, you play this and you don't even know what you're doing because you're so into the music. So you can use it dancing and having a cocktail or just to kind of get you through.
Yeah, I love it.
Fantastic. So, all of your mixes are fantastic.
Thank you.
Now, April, are you doing any Zoom DJ dance parties, or how is that manifesting right now in your life?
Well, that's a good question. It started out hot. It was going well. And then I think when I say it started out back in the spring when we first started this nightmare, I was doing all of these really fun, kind of kitschy. I did a couple on my Instagram, these virtual dance parties. And then I think it kind of fizzled out because we all felt weird dancing on camera. We all felt awkward. I think the main issue that all DJs felt with that genre was that 100% of what we do is based on the audience's reaction to what we play. And when you take the dance floor away and you don't have the 100 people in front of you dancing or 10 people in front of you dancing, it's very hard to know where to go with what you're playing. So we're all trained to play one song and then play the next based on the reaction from that song, right? That's what we do. And that's how you keep a party going. And if you're good at what you do, you can keep them on the dance floor the whole time. Well, without a dance floor in front of you, what the heck are we doing? We're just playing songs that we like, and then you're opening yourself up to all of this critiquing of people just sitting there like this, which was like our idea of hell. I mean, no DJ wants to be watched, So anyway, so the whole thing died down. It got awkward and weird, and we stopped doing it. And then the holidays came, and I kind of got a couple requests from some of my regulars that were doing holiday parties, and this was corporate stuff, not anything silly, and you know, it was corporate stuff. And they were doing a holiday virtual cocktail and wanted some music. And it kind of turned into like me playing some music, but really more of an interview and some music. And that's kind of where this happened last week. I recorded my set last week that I played for a virtual dance party, and thought, it's halfway decent. I guess I'll post it. And I feel like everyone kind of needs some music and they could use some kind of kooky, weird dance stuff. So I posted it, and that's how we got here. Everyone liked it, I think.
Oh, it's so great. I'm not just saying it. I mean, I'll probably dance to anything. I'll dance to the Barney theme or something, but this is from You Can't Stop. It's so good. You're really, really great. And it's really creative and clever.
Thanks.
How you went from one to the next.
So April, last time I danced to your music, I believe it was a Gabriels event in Greenwich, and it was wild. Packed. You couldn't get near you. We couldn't get near the bar. It was super, super fun. I cannot wait till we can get back to those moments. And I was just saying to Jill, you know, I think you need to like get April or get on her calendar for this time next year, because she's going to be so crazy busy once the fall comes along. I bet there's pent up demand just for you.
Let's hope. That would be a great problem to have. What you're describing is the one night stand party at Gabriel's.
Yes.
An event that I was so proud of that party. That was 3 years we did that party twice a year. It was an event that I hosted and produced. I was really proud of it and worked really hard on that. And it had great momentum. We were building and building. Every year it got bigger and bigger, and we were outgrowing our venues. And it was just, it was kind of the next step career-wise for me, was to do these events that were, you know, VIP list only with the you know, bottle service tables but it was in Greenwich, and it was such a blast. We had such a good time. I missed that vibe so much, that I pray we get back there soon. It would be, that's my goal, is to get back to those big parties.
Killed it. Honestly, of my favorite events of the past few years, I mean, I loved going to those things, and I will be the first one through the door next time it goes on.
I love those parties. Those parties are the most fun for me, because I'm the boss of that party. I'm the one who's hiring me, so I play whatever the heck I want at those parties, and it is the best feeling to be able to play whatever I want. I mean, it's a lot of house music, it's a lot of techno, and we have a blast at those parties. I mean, I think the last one we had 300 something people. They were turning people away at the door. It was such a good time.
But question for you, like, I guess I never thought about it from your standpoint. I'm just busy on the dance floor, but how do you read, you know, is it just how people stay on, or how do you read it and what you should put on next and next and next to keep it like going more and more?
Yeah, I mean, that's where the music comes in. That's where the knowledge of the history of music comes in, right? So I was actually trained, I went to DJ school in the city. It's a school called Scratch Academy. And when you go to Scratch Academy, you learn this stuff. You learn the technical stuff, but a big part of it is also learning little tricks on how to read the room and how to read the party. We all have our tricks that we use. I think a good DJ has a whole bucket full of tricks that he uses to keep people dancing and keep the party going. I mean, we've all been in a party where the DJ plays a flop and you see like a bomb went off on the dance floor. Everyone.
You know, for me personally, okay, so we were talking about this before we started. I love a lot of the new music, as well as, of course, the music that I grew up with and, you know, loved in my 20s and 30s and 40s. And I sometimes I get so annoyed when that's all that's played, or it's sort of those cliche songs that you hear. It's like insulting to me that I wouldn't want to dance to, you know, like the latest, what's out there. But maybe that's not typical. And so, you know, when you're following a crowd that's like mixed ages, or
well, you're kind of a dream. You're a dream client then, because I think that
yes.
a good client, a good dance floor guest is someone who will dance to new stuff and old, right? And not give you the whole like when you play something. But I'll tell you one of my tricks, and this is my little trick of the trade that I use that is fail-safe. Never get it wrong. It works every time like a charm. And that is when I get to a party, I'm usually there before the dance floor starts, right? I get there early, except for in the case of One Night Stand where the dance floor starts immediately. But usually I'm at a party for at least, you know, a few minutes, half hour, hour before, and I can kind of survey the room and I can look at who's there, right? And I can see the age group, the kind of social dynamics of the group, where they're from, and I can look at the general appearance. If they are in their 40s, if they're in their 30s, if they're in their 50s, I think about when they were in college.
Mm-hmm.
And then I play those songs. If I play the songs that were popular when they were in college, it's never going to go bad. So in other words, if they're in their
comfort
40s,
level.
well, happy place, right? What's your happiest, most people's happiest time was in college. That's their
Exactly.
and like music does this thing where it jogs your memory and brings you right back to that moment where you were in college. And so, like, for instance, if I look at the crowd and they're in their 40s, I'm going to play Biggie, I'm going to play TLC, I'm going to play Tupac, I'm going to play all that R&B that was like huge back then. But also there was a whole lot of really fun grungy stuff happening then, like Nirvana and Soundgarden and Pearl Jam and Smashing Pumpkins. So if I played that genre, no matter what, the dance floor is never going to get dull, ever. If they're in their 50s, I'm going to play more of the late 80s stuff. If they're in their 30s, I'm going to play a lot more hip hop. So it's basically reading the room and playing what songs I think is their happy place. And usually the sweet spot is college.
I love it. Although you know, I'm kind of a lover of some of the really old stuff. Like I'm a huge fan of Eartha Kitt, Santa Baby, Bing Crosby, White Christmas, and even the sort of, you know, rapey song. What's it? Baby It's Cold Outside.
Yeah.
But are there some good remixes?
Do you say the rapey song? Do you say the rapey song? Let's call it that from now on, the rapey song.
It is a little bit, Baby It's Cold. I believe your mother like. There's some bad lyrics in there.
It's so rapey. What's in this drink? The line is, "What's in this drink?"
Yes,
that's the line. That's so rapey. Like, so rapey. But it's a good song.
But I love those older songs that are
pouring in.
Do we have some like fun remixes or ways to like kind of, you know, sort of step up, you know, take a little tradition but bring it forward? Do you have any ways to do that?
Yes. So that Bing Crosby song that you just mentioned is on my mix. And it is.
The mix has
you will probably say I butchered it. I butchered it to death. It is like cut and twisted and scratched, and it has the loudest dance backbeat that you've ever heard. But it's in there. So you might hate it, but it's in there.
No, I'll probably love it. I love to dance. I am one of those girls who's like, yay!
She does ballroom dance. She does competitions.
I remember. I've seen you on the dance floor. I remember.
Yeah. I'm just Elaine at home. She does competitions.
I know everyone in Greenwich that likes to dance. I know every one of them. I can tell you all their names, all of them.
That's so fun. Oh my God. So you kind of went in a different direction this last summer.
Yes.
Or maybe you started, when did you start? When?
We went away as soon as we realized that we weren't working or going to sleepaway camp. We got in an RV and we drove across America for July and August. And
so awesome. So wait, April, we being you and the family, how old are the kids, your husband? Like, give us a little background.
Jasper is 9 and Ella's 13, and my husband Jonathan, and he's English, so he hasn't seen a lot of America. So he really wanted to see, you know, the flyover states, the states that like he's never been to on a business trip, basically.
There's a lot of beauty out there.
Yes, there is. Amen to that. Amen to that. So we, and my kids were meant to be at sleepaway camp for July. And they were looking forward to that all year. So when that bomb dropped, that they weren't going to sleepaway camp, I kind of thought, well, I'm not working. And when am I ever going to have another summer again where I'm not working? And I don't have to be here or have to be, you know, a slave to my gig schedule. So we took advantage and we never camped ever. We've never even driven an RV ever. We're like the worst campers. So it was a bit of a shit show. We drove 4,000 miles and we drove across 16 states and we saw America and we camped. And it was wild and it was amazing. We had highs and lows like you wouldn't believe.
I believe.
So we had a little conversation about this before, but so it kind of, the camping thing goes a little off brand from like super glam, April, DJ Larken. So like, how did you pull that all together? Because I was a follower. I was really enjoying the, like the trials and tribulations of the RV trip. So like, how did you pull that off?
It was nuts. My kids got a real kick out of seeing mom camping. Like camping mom was very different from working mom. Like I think working mom is like super dagged. I mean, I don't know if you ever see me work, but like I work a tour every time. I'm a big fan of Rent the Runway. I wear ball gowns when I work the whole time. I have my like Chanel gloves. I got like glam, like
super fab.
My makeup artist calls it a full face. We go full face every time. Everything is full face with the lashes and the nails. So to do this, to go camping and like go really, really dirty and like live in a tent or a camper for so many weeks, I actually really embraced it. I thought it was really funny and really fun. And you know, I've got a 9-year-old son. He could not get enough of this camping thing. He was like building the fire and pitching the tent and putting up hammocks and, I mean, doing the leveling of the wheels and the RV and all these things. It was just really fun to watch him enjoy this time, you know, that he never thought he was going to get. And suddenly we're camping. It was awesome. I think the social media side of it, what you saw, was trying to stay alive in this weird COVID world of social media. You know, you go from working and having stuff to post, like way too much stuff to post when I'm working. I'm like, oh my God, I got gigs. I got to post, you know, music and myself working. But when you're not working, what else are we posting? I'm not posting like my kids, you know, it's no one wants to see that. You know, 90% of my followers are following me because I'm a DJ and they are either DJs themselves or they're into music and they are into DJs. So I kind of thought, all right, well, this is what I'm doing. I'm camping across America in an RV. I guess I might as well make like a little Instagram story about it. And it was pretty fun. And you know what? I think I lost about 2,000 followers in the process.
I loved it. I know April really because I've seen you work. I know the look and feel. And what I loved about the RV trip was like all of a sudden you were so like, yeah, I got it. You know, it was just so fun to see that other part of you and the family part and like the, you know, get down and be, you know, connected to the soil, all that good stuff. Like I could see it and you could see the family really enjoying it and like, you know, coming together around it was, I thought it was great.
Oh, thanks. And listening to country music. I mean, that was like a big part of the journey was going to be music for me, right? Because I can't travel without absorbing music from everywhere I go. And a big part of this journey was to just see, you know, I would just turn on the radio in Wyoming, you know, or Montana and just see, all right, well, let's see what's up here. And man, it was such an adventure just experiencing American music, you know, and the different states where we were. Ohio was so hip hop heavy. It was incredible. And then well, you know, a couple days later, we're in Iowa and man, it's country Western. It's like the country music in Iowa is like a next level of country music. And then we get to Wyoming and it's a lot of oldies. We got to Montana and my God, I mean, the music in Montana, Colorado and Montana are so Grateful Dead heavy. And it's like Grateful Dead and Fish and that whole genre is not dead. It is still alive and well.
I know people who are, you know, devoted.
Devoted
to anything.
Forever.
That ever is held again.
Yeah.
So I know people that will be put in the grave with an LP from Grateful Dead with them in their casket.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, a lot of DJs are deadheads. That's a little secret we don't like to tell anybody, but
their music's fantastic and it's very relaxing in a lot of ways. So in many ways.
Yeah, it's great music. The melodies, the Grateful Dead melodies are some of the best in music history. You cannot deny that. It's good music.
So you know what really shocked me was, it was Jill who said, watch the Bee Gees documentary. And I kind of poo-pooed the Bee Gees for years. And all of a sudden, it blew my mind of how important and how much influence they had in music across, like, it must have been 30 years, 25, 30 years. They were so impactful. And so, like Jill and I want to know what you're watching and what you're listening to, like, what's up?
Yeah, well, I've become a total TV addict because I'm not working, and you got to remember my vampire lifestyle is I'm up late. I'm a night owl, so that's just because of years of working. And I mean, when I work in the city, I work until 3 a.m. I get home 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. So my body is very much.
And you probably don't go right to sleep. You're probably like.
I don't. I don't. But
that's how I feel whenever I come home. I can't just ever go to sleep.
No, you're wired. You're wired. And especially if it was a good gig, I'm like on a high still for my gig. And so, yeah, so this family has very much adapted to mom being a vampire. And, my husband always has done the morning school runs and I do the afternoons. And, the kids know, don't knock on the door when mom worked the night before, let her sleep, like all of that. It's been a big part of our lifestyle. But now that I'm not working, my body is still very much accustomed to being a night owl. So I've been watching so much TV, like every night. I can't even tell you, I like binge shows like crazy. I never had time for TV in my life. I don't know if TV has suddenly gotten good or if I've just suddenly gotten time for TV, but damn, like, there's so much. Both. All right. I want to TV. It's crazy.
Not much better.
Has it? Okay, good.
In general,
I never had time.
So your new show, because you've been spot on with so many things and I've been following so much of what you've been saying, but your new show you're obsessed with is?
Oh, Outlander.
Outlander. Well, you were not alone. I had so many women saying, Jill, you must watch Outlander, but also The Wilds.
The Wilds. No, I'm not.
So I have 2 new ones to watch after everybody.
We won't talk about Outlander. We can't talk about Outlander because Outlander needs its own show. So I'm going to come back.
Yeah. Happy to do it.
If you watched Outlander, I'll come back and we'll talk about Outlander because that we can't even just drop into conversation Outlander. It needs a full dedicated hour.
But did you drop the picture of the hero in the kilt? Didn't you drop that? Or did someone else onto my Facebook page?
Oh yeah. No,
Jamie,
that was
right?
me.
Jamie?
That was me, Jamie. Yeah, Jamie deserves his own hour to discuss Jamie.
He's so beautiful.
That will be our highest rated, so we'll save that for another.
I will get all of my. I'll get everybody to watch it. There's a whole fan group in Greenwich. It's actually a support group that we discuss in Outlander.
I would love to do a show with the support group. What do you think?
I would love it. It would be great.
It'd be a great show.
This is where we're at now.
It's totally where we're at. No,
it's good to have a little escapism and a little time to yourself to enjoy this. But I do think The Wilds is really interesting.
Yeah.
There's another show. What was the other show you guys were saying, ladies?
The Crown. I binged The Crown. We watched The Crown in like a week.
What did your husband think of that, being British?
Loved it. But this particular season in The Crown was just the best for his age group because he lived through this. So like, I found myself like grabbing and being like, "Do you remember that? Do you remember that? Were you there for that?" And he was like, "Yeah, of course. This is my childhood." Like, of course, I remember when someone broke into the castle and like,
I remember that.
Like, do you guys remember hearing about that in America? We didn't.
Of course, yes, absolutely.
But we pay attention to those kind of things, Trevor.
I do.
Not everyone does.
I didn't. I missed it. But I can tell you that watching those Diana parts, I don't know how you guys felt, but the Diana parts were hard to watch. That was tough.
Well, and knowing what was going to become of her and what her fate would be, watching it and watching the misery, and just imagining what the rejection and the isolation.
Agony.
It is so painful.
Has anyone said whether or not her sons have watched this? Have you read anything about that yet?
I haven't read anything, but I do have friends in England who do know members of the royal family. And the royal family, it's really hard for them. What I hear is because so much of the dialogue is made up. You know, it comes from ideas, etc. It's not fact, and things didn't necessarily go that particular way. And Prince Charles was really slammed in this season. You know, I mean, he might have been that horrible to her, but it's certainly, you know, it's fictional, but it lands on people as if it was fact. And I think that part is very difficult for the royal family. And they've actually asked, is it HBO? Yeah, to put a disclaimer like this is fictional.
Netflix.
Because some people can't distinguish that this is you know, based on fact, but it's all written up. It's dialogue that nobody was there to witness. And
that makes sense.
And these are people who are still alive. You know, Camilla's alive, Prince Philip's alive. So, you know, all up until this season, most people were dead and it wasn't, you know, quite so immediate. And just like you're saying, your husband, Jonathan, is like, I remember that. You know,
Prince Philip's been trashed since the first season or the second season or so. So he wrote it by now, but the actress who plays Camille Parker Bowles, who's
Emerald Fennell.
Yeah,
I want to know her.
Fantastic, very feminist movie coming out in January.
Emerald.
Really? She's terrific.
Yeah, she's fantastic. Yeah. I love her.
Did you ever watch Call the Midwife? That's on Netflix.
No, my mom loves that show. My mother loves Call the Midwife.
If it is as it sounds, because I don't want to watch that.
No. It's so sweet and lovely and wonderful, but it's kind of, it was Emerald Fennell's breakout role. She plays a lesbian nurse in the 50s. And she does such.
I pictured it was like Virgin River, and the midwife came over and birthed him.
No. It's gritty. Yeah, it's fantastic. It's a beautifully done series. The BBC, they just do things well in the BBC.
Yeah. It's funny, since I've started watching, since I'm such a TV-aholic, I've now gotten like the BBC upgrade on Amazon Prime and Hulu. So like, now like I've got the full Hulu package where like someone asked me what I watched that BG show on. I was like, I don't know, Hulu. I'm watching everything on Hulu because I've got my HBO on there. I got my BBC on there. I've got my Netflix on there. But that
now, have you seen Killing Eve?
Yeah.
Killing Eve
I didn't finish that though. I didn't finish that. That's a network show, right?
BBC, and I think there's 6 seasons. I've only seen 5.
Oh, wow.
I just love the clothes.
Yes. Yeah.
Jodie Comer's clothes.
Yeah.
Best dressed murderer on television. She is, I think. Maybe there's competition, but that comes to mind. So.
Well, the costumes in the only reason why I watched The Queen's Gambit was the costumes and the sets. The sets were amazing. Oh my God. That was like, I mean, I felt like whoever designed those sets was like, it was like a beautiful, colorful orgasm of like and like all the details and like the hanging drapey things. It was just stunning. Absolutely.
Brilliant. There's actually an article, I think, in Vice that I read about the creative director, how he planned each of those scenes, and they worked with the costume designers. And even like they were describing, remember the scene where she walks through the door of the hotel, I think it's in Miami, and she keeps going around and up some stairs?
Yes.
That took this special boom camera because it was one full shot. And it was everything, like once, you know, they broke it down in this article, you're just like, wow, the brilliance behind that like vision and the planning for each of those shots was intense. It was beautiful. But I agree with you. Like,
I think it's going to overtake the Oscars this year for big things that we're all familiar with and excited about. So
The Queen's Gambit for me, I feel like the biggest star of that show is the gentleman you just described, is the set director, the set designer. Just like Nicole Kidman's hair was the biggest star of the show.
Undoing.
In The Undoing. The Undoing, it was all about Nicole Kidman's hair.
Yes. It wasn't her hair.
Her hair.
It wasn't her hair though. It was a collection.
Her hair and the coats.
Yeah.
And the coats. That was a good series. We blew through that in like 3 days, I think. That was good.
Mm-hmm.
I like
Creek talking about costumes.
Amazing.
Moira.
Amazing. Moira got me through.
Your whole family was dressed for Halloween.
We did it.
Creek too, right?
We did it. It's great.
There's a simpatico thing going on.
Awesome.
So.
Did you guys dress as Moira too? Were you dressed as Moira?
Yes.
Oh my God, you need to send me the photos. I didn't see that.
It was actually hard to decide which thing to wear. So now I've decided I need to rethink how I used to dress.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't have to buy a single thing for Moira. My whole closet's Moira. I literally dropped my closet. No, but that show got us through the whole quarantine. That was like a lifesaver, that show, because at some point the news was so sad and there was just nothing but really horrible news every time you turn on the TV that we stopped watching news and started watching Schitt's Creek before bed every night. And it was the best thing for us. It made us smile and laugh before we went to bed every night.
You know, the entertainment industry, and so I count music in because music saves me all the time. When I'm in a bad mood, it's really what I do go to. But all these series have helped people so much. And, you know I have have a dear cousin who's, you know, very involved in getting these shows back up and running again. It has been something to get everybody quarantined and get it working and get the production going. But they're starting to do that, and you know, some are starting to come on now, and it made such a difference. It's like a public service at this point.
Yeah. Now, did you hear about Tom Cruise went absolutely ballistic nuts on, I think, a bunch of people around a computer while they were doing whatever whatever the next thing was?
What was he so crazy about? What happened?
I heard it. I listened to the tape. It was agony.
Well, you know what? He was right though. Like they were too close. They weren't social distancing. They were all looking at a computer. You know, his handling of the stress and fear was not particularly the best way to do it. But, you know, what he was responding is like, they can't do their jobs if somebody gets COVID. So everybody's just got to be really mindful. But he, you know, I'm not a huge Tom Cruise fan, but I was like, I get it. I can understand why upset he was.
I get it too. The point he was making was how much we're depending on him and that industry. Not necessarily him as an actor, but how much the American people and the world are
just like you're saying, Schitt's Creek got us all through the worst times.
Yeah, we need it. We need this stuff to help get us through. I think, you know, when you need a distraction as badly as we all do, you got to kind of think about it that way. You know, he's doing almost like a service. You know, the Hollywood's putting out a service for all of us to help get our mind off things. And yeah, I mean, if you think about it, you asked me about The Wild. I binged The Wild in like less than a week because it was giving me this distraction. The Wilds, it's called The Wilds. It was giving me this distraction of like anything but reality right now. I mean, it's about these teenage girls that are deserted on an island after a plane crash, and how far removed, I mean, you can't get much more far removed from reality there. And it was brilliantly done, and it was scary, and you don't even know what the heck's happening until the last episode, the last of the whole series. You're like, oh my God, what? Great ending. And yeah, I can't wait for that to come back next season. I can't wait to see what's going to happen in the next season. So there it is. I'm addicted. I'm hooked.
We'll see how addicted we are when we can go back out dancing at your parties. That'll be the true test.
Yes,
but maybe when you come home from the party, then we'll watch a couple episodes.
Yeah,
well,
exactly.
I propose a full Trevor and Jill Talk / 10-night stand.
Yes, please.
We're gonna binge dance.
Yeah,
we're gonna binge dance for 10 parties straight. I don't know. We got to come up with some, because I'm in dire need.
Day they rested.
I don't know. I don't even think we need to pay to rest. We're so ready. I had my first gig request for fall 2021 last week. So yeah, I don't know how that makes us feel. I mean, I responded with, "Are you sure?" To the gig request. I was like, I'm there. If we're at that stage in America and we're ready to party, I'm there. I'm gonna be happily there. But I don't know. It made me happy to see a gig request. I haven't had one in a long time, a real gig request. But fall 2021, how do we feel about that? Does that feel soon to you guys, or does that feel within reach? I don't know.
I think I'm ready. I'm thinking by November 1, I think we should be good to go.
And maybe even outside in August somewhere dancing.
Yeah, I like it. I mean,
I like it.
We should have our second dose. I mean, everyone's gonna have a little passport card to say if they've had a vaccine, and you can use that as a measure if you want. And we should be able to have our second dose, hopefully, as long as things don't get screwed up along the way. And if we're going in our best plan as we can right now, then I think we'll be okay. If something, man plans, God laughs, isn't that what they say? So, but if we're going with what we know, I think we're good. I think we're good to dance.
Yeah, let's hope.
With each other. So.
All right. So
thank you so much. Oh, but in the meantime,
wait, time out. We need a happy birthday song for Jill.
That's right.
Can we do that?
You want to sing?
No.
I think that's what we've got, because I don't think she can put on her music.
Not while I'm using my laptop for the Zoom. But we can play. You can post my link so they can listen to it.
Let's do that. I'm good. So,
sing. We can
so
sing.
much fun. Okay, next time, Jamie, and some more music and some more dance, and we'll, you know, we're lucky to get through it like this is to be very fortunate. So thank you so much. You're fantastic. Everything you do. I also know you've done a lot of things for charitable organizations, and much admiration for that.
I think you're not
just super cool. You're super sweet.
Well, I can tell you right now, both of you women, I am right on the same page as you with almost all of your social causes. I am always liking, loving all of your posts that have to do with anything political, with women and feminism. So I'm here to say thank you for being a spokesperson for the feminist movement. Thank you for everything that you stand for regarding standing up for women's rights and the social rights of women. And I will be on your show any day you want to talk about any of those topics, no matter how controversial. I am all over that because I love it. And you should just know we're on the same page. I agree with your thoughts on all those things. So.
It's a date, and we will plan that. Absolutely. Happy holidays.
Happy holidays.
Happy everything. Merry Christmas. Happy New Year.
Happy everything.
Happy holidays.
Thank you so much, April. Bye.
Bye, ladies.
Bye-bye. Take care. Good night.
Take care.